Hi everyone, I'm Mike Lewis. We're here, day 2 at the New Marketing Summit at Gillette Stadium, and I'm really happy to be joined by Peter Nieforth from DocMetrics because yesterday we chatted a little bit, and I was really excited about your company. But you know what? I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you guys do and why that's relevant to everything that's going on here.
Yeah. So Peter Nieforth, I'm the CEO of Vitrium Systems. We're a 3-year-old software company out of Vancouver, Canada, and 12 weeks ago we just launched a brand new software application called DocMetrics, the first web-based application of its kind to give you the ability to track who's reading your PDFs.
That's really cool because yesterday, it's funny, and this is when we first started talking actually, is after David's talk,
yes.
he actually mentioned during his session ungated content.
Yes.
And it really applied when you and I were chatting about some of the stuff that you guys are doing. And can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So it's interesting. David, in my discussions with David Merman-Scott, marketing strategist and best-selling author of the New Rules of PR.
PR marketing.
PR marketing.
Yeah, you're both.
Yeah. So he said, and I quote from a press release that we just issued yesterday here at the show, up to 95% of website visitors will abandon traditional web forms, gating online content. Mm-hmm. And so if you're a marketer and you have content and you're trying to generate leads, sales leads from this content, you're putting up a web form today.
Yep.
But 95% of people that hit your web form leave.
Yep.
They don't want to answer 20 questions.
Yep.
And so, so if you're only getting 5% of the potential audience,
and most of that's bogus data.
And there's a percentage of that is bogus data.
Yeah.
And Mickey Mouse reads a lot of white papers.
Yeah, exactly. So does George Bush. I found out. Who knew?
So what DocMetrics really does, it allows you for the first time to ungate that content that David Merman-Scott's talking about. But if you just simply ungate content and just let it go, you know nothing about what happens to it. You don't know if anyone read it, who they are. And so DocMetrics, again, sort of transcends this by being right in the middle about allowing you to ungate your content, but yet still in a friendly way be able to track what the reader is, how they're engaging with your content, and the ability to also put a form within the document, let's say on page 4 or 5 of the document. After they're engaged with the content, you can ask them voluntarily to answer a couple of questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so it's a really new way of collecting who's reading your PDFs.
So let me ask you this. So Brian Halligan was just up talking from HubSpot, and
yes.
he did a great presentation, talked a little bit about search engine optimization, so taking your content and just making it free,
yes,
and optimizing everything inside of it to just go out there because eventually people find it and they'll come back to your site and that kind of stuff. I mean, how do you respond to something like that?
Yeah, I think that absolutely that's the right thing to do.
Yep.
And if you let that content go and you use DocMetrics as an example, yeah, the search engines will still search these PDFs.
And now you actually have the information you need to follow up with people.
And you can still interact with the reader, find out if they've read it, how much of it they've read, how many pages they read, how much time they spent reading each page, did they print it, the questions that you may put in front of them, did they fill them out, and of course, that all important, who did they pass it to?
Absolutely.
Because if you consider that the web form today is your one and only shot to actually get any information from that reader, and then you chuck a PDF over the wall at them, you have no idea if they even read it or who they pass it to. So Michael Stelzner, the famous white paper guy, he talks about white papers get passed along up to 56% of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you consider that even a web form isn't going to give you that pass along data, because people like to share content, and that happens in the world every day today. So coming back to the search optimization, yeah, I think it's great to put your PDFs out there. Don't gate them behind a web form. Let the Google and the other search engine bots scan these things for the SEO terms, but also have that technology embedded in the PDF to collect this great rich data from your content.
So let me ask you a question now. A little different tactic. Yeah. Different tact, not tactic. You've been here for 2 days or a day and a few hours this morning. Yes. How do you define new marketing? When you think about everything that's gone on and all the different speakers that we've heard from, what would be the big takeaway from you? Like, what is new marketing? Why is it important?
I think that there's a lot of best practices that are being shared here at the conference today. There's new technologies such as our latest product, DocMetrics, that we just released. But I think new marketing, I think that marketers need to consider things that they've done in the past that they may have moved away from. I'm a big fan of press releases. So yesterday we issued a press release here at the show. I'm not sure if anyone else issued a press release here at the show yesterday. We had David Merman-Scott give us a fantastic quote to really help deliver our message. So even things like press releases, and we did hear someone yesterday talk about press releases and how, you know, there isn't much noise in the press release world because people aren't doing them anymore.
Exactly.
And to the degree that they have in the past. So I think there's great ideas to returning to some of the old traditional things that we used to do in marketing. So I think that's new marketing. And then of course there's innovative things that we can do moving forward. I think that some of the ideas that were shared yesterday, like hiring a writer from the press, hiring a reporter in your firm to help craft the message and write press releases and give you that focus, that target message, and get that out there. I think these are some of the new marketing ideas that people need to
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love the idea of that new marketing is actually somewhat a return to the old.
Old and new.
Yeah, it's old and new, because really what it's about, and you know, and this is one of the themes that I took away from it, is that it's about really listening to what's going on with your customers, increasing that dialogue, and saying, you know what, maybe there is a better way to do it. Maybe press releases are the right channel for us. You know, maybe we need to do more of them. Maybe we need to get, you know, to help our SEO, whatever it is. That old stuff that, you know, people have forgot. We tend to focus on the new and flashy, you know, stuff that has come out.
And yesterday there was also the panel talking about sort of the younger generation, the Gen Ys and the Gen Xs, and how many of those folks have mobile phones and mobile devices, and how they are really putting themselves out there, and it's all about having a relationship with that younger crowd. I think there's some really neat trends coming there. There's some great statistics.
Yeah, there really are.
That were put forward about how to connect with this younger generation.
Absolutely, and just like they said, I mean, they're on Twitter, watching TV, you know, on TiVo. They're you know, got 4 windows open on their laptop. How do you get their attention?
How do you market to these folks that are consuming content in a whole new way?
Exactly.
They're not necessarily picking up the Wall Street Journal.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they probably aren't. If they are, they're checking it out online. Right. I mean, like most of us. But I doubt they're checking out the Wall Street Journal. Maybe they are. I don't know. So, last question. If you had any tips to give, so they're going to be watching this video that maybe trying to figure out how to get into new marketing, may have started down the path of new marketing, or saying, geez, you know, am I doing it the right way? Is this the right road I should be going down? What advice would you give? Are there any tips or tricks that you could give someone to say, if you're doing this, this is where you need to start? Well,
first of all, I think they should be here. I mean, if you're really interested...
That's a great plug.
if you're interested in learning what you should do and what the new marketing strategies and techniques are, you need to be educating yourself. You need to be coming to the New Marketing Summit, and you need to be networking and interacting with the folks that are here, because the thought leaders of what to do and where the trends are moving forward, they're here at this conference.
It's funny too, because it's again that return to the old, right? I mean, you know, we're all connected on social networks, but nothing beats actually getting together in person, shaking someone's hand and saying, hey, you know, I follow you on Twitter. You know, I can't tell you how many people came up to me last night and were like, wow, you're Boston Mike? Yeah, I had no idea. So it's kind of cool, but sorry to cut you off.
No, I think that there's a tremendous amount of personal relationships that you make here at a conference like the New Marketing Summit and other conferences. You need to educate yourself. You need to be with the thought leaders. You need to be hearing the panelists speak, and so if you were to say what was the one thing that I really took away from this conference, I think it's the relationships that I've made here at this show, because the relationships that I've made at this show are going to give me a tremendous amount of expertise, or someone that I can call. So I can call Boston Mike and say, hey, you know, we're looking to join another organization. I think that you're involved with
the BMA.
The BMA. So I just learned about the BMA a couple months ago.
Oh, great.
And so we'd love to be members of the BMA, so I need to talk to you about that. So.
Excellent.
But anyway, it's the relationships. I think that's the one takeaway here. You make key contacts that really will help leverage your business going forward.
That's excellent. Well, I really appreciate your time. I don't want to take up too much more.
Thank you.
Get back to the conference and learn more. So, but thank you very much.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.